Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to this segment of Project 365. I am Portia Wheatley. I am the founder and the president of a nonprofit organization, Acknowledges Trophy of Life Incorporated. And we have the great opportunity, the privilege, and the God assignment to render hope, encouragement, and inspiration to you, our audience, across the whole world. Let me bring in my co-host.
Hello, everyone. My name is Takira Swan, and I am so happy to be here with you this afternoon. Before we bring on our guest to talk about an exciting topic today, I just want to remind all of you to go to our YouTube page, like, share, subscribe, because that is how you help us spread hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the entire world.
One more time, Takira, to who?
The entire world.
We love to talk about sharing hope, encouragement, and inspiration to the entire world. Well, today I have the great opportunity to share the platform with one of my Soul Wealth sisters. I am so pleased to welcome Monique Pearson to our platform. Today, we are going to be talking about traveling. And the topic is deeper than travel. How international solo travel introduced Monique to Monique. So we're going to see how that panned out. Thank you so very much, Monique, for accepting our invitation to come and share your experience and to open our minds about travel. It's amazing what's going on with the travel world now, but we want to know all of what you have experienced so that we can open our minds to travel and learn about ourselves as well. You have the platform.
Well, first, I want to say thank you, Portia. Thank you, Takira, for having me on this afternoon. Definitely an honor and a pleasure, and I'm happy to join you ladies and everyone else that is streaming in or will be catching the replay this afternoon. Again, my name is Monique Pearson, and I'm the founder of Soaring Without Limits Enterprises. And like many of us during the pandemic, I was awakened to my gifts and to make sure that I'm operating in them. So SWOL was actually founded during the middle of the pandemic. That idea came to me to take all of my experience that I have had over the past 25 plus years when it comes to traveling and be able to share that in particular with women who may be holding themselves back when it comes to their travel goals, their dreams, their aspirations. So that is exactly what our mission is to help women turn their travel fantasies into their reality. But I think I'll back up a little bit so those can know a background of how this started and where this dream came from. So I'm originally from upstate New York. And I knew at 10 years old that it was more to life than Utica, New York, where I'm from, which is 45 minutes from Syracuse. And I just knew that that was something that I wanted to see, to go out there and explore and see the world. So the gateway to make that happen for me initially was the Army. Joined right out of high school. So that afforded me an opportunity to go to Germany, to go to Korea, to go to all these other countries for the next 8.5 years. And after that, I started contracting overseas in the Middle East. So I worked in Kuwait for a year, worked in Iraq for 2 years. I'm sharing all of this to share as far as the amount of traveling that I did initially early on. But one thing that struck me starting SWOL was I was always accompanied by someone. There was always a friend, there was always a coworker, there was always someone there to greet me, meet me on the other side, and that I was never alone. So I just want to let ladies know, those who may be apprehensive about traveling solo, that I too, even with all that experience and all of that traveling, still had fears, still had apprehensions. But one thing I want to share with you, which helped me, is the acronym for FEAR, which is false evidence appearing real. Most times when you are afraid of something, it's because you don't have anything in your memory banks for you to go back, to touch upon, to relate to. So you create a scenario in your head as to what that situation may be. I know I was guilty of that. And the main thing I would say to encourage you to overcome your fear is to face it. We do not know what we are capable of until we are in a situation which forces us to bring out our inner strength and fortitude. So I definitely want to encourage, as we continue on our discussion this afternoon, to propel you to face your fear, even if it means starting small. If you're afraid to get on a plane, to just probably step on and do a practice flight for 45 minutes, that is accomplishment. That is facing your fear one step at a time until you are able to move up. I definitely would encourage those you ladies to do that. So the topic that we have here today, solo travel, introducing me to me. As I stated, all of that former travel that I just discussed was with someone. It wasn't until 2016 that I had the opportunity to actually do solo travel myself. After leaving the Middle East, I joined with Department of Defense, who I'm currently with now. We have an international division. So I actually applied and was accepted for a position in Milan, Italy. So in 2016, I moved to Italy by myself, not knowing anyone. And that was a 3-year assignment. So this assignment required me to travel all around Europe, Bosnia, Albania, Serbia, Switzerland, some of these places which you would never think or volunteer to jump to or join or go to. So even with my experience, yes, ladies, that fear was still there. But of course, step up to the plate, as I was encouraging you all to do. I had to do myself, not knowing anyone, not knowing if there was going to be an interpreter there, just pretty much going to the unknown and trusting God to lead me in my steps. So if there's anything that I can definitely share with you, is to go ahead and take that first step. When you think you're walking alone, that's when God is going to step in and carry you to make sure you make it on your journey the rest of the way. Sure enough, every time I went to any of these countries, there was an interpreter there who spoke English. There was a guide there who helped me out to make sure that I made it, whether it be flights, driving 3 hours in the middle of nowhere without a telephone. So yes, I have plenty of adventures to share, but we don't have the time for that today. But ladies, I'm just saying, as a woman who has done it, who has stepped out into the unknown and made it to the other side, you will really, really, really get to see the strength that you have within you when you are ready to get out of your comfort zone, which is going to propel you to your growth zone, ladies. And going back to the solo travel piece, so the work piece was worked out as far as traveling on that end, but I also wanted to see what else Europe had to offer. Milan is centrally located. So you're surrounded by Spain, you're surrounded by France, you're surrounded by Germany, you're surrounded by Switzerland. And as I said, I didn't know anyone there. So I was like, okay, am I going to sit, wait, however long this takes for me to get to meet some people, to be able to go with me? And I was like, nah, I'm not putting that on pause. So again, stepping out and traveling. Within those 3 years that I was there, I traveled to over 23 countries. 80% of those I traveled by myself. But as you know, and as I've been saying throughout this whole discussion, I was never by myself because God has always with me. Every single time I went somewhere by myself, He aligned me with another woman who was an American, who was traveling solo. So we were able to join together. We were able to out there see the world. So again, if anything, I encourage and push and promote is for you to step out of your comfort zone and go ahead and go forth and watch God meet you where you are. He is going to align you. He is going to show you that strength that you have in you. That is some of the things that I was able to take away stepping out and doing this solo travel. Now it's my preferred method because I don't have to make concessions for what I want to do. If I want to sleep in, I can sleep in if I want to. If I want to read, I can. If I want to go eat here and don't want to eat what you want to eat, you can. I'm just saying there are advantages, ladies, to going ahead and spending that time with you. One, you're sitting still. You're able to process. You're able to grow. You're able to get connected to those things that you may be running to, because now in this nation, well, the pandemic has helped to help us unplug far as from our phone, from our computers, from the TV, from someone else. We are always trying to find something to distract us from that time from ourselves. So this definitely, spending that time alone with yourself will help you to get back in touch with you. Make you remember some of those things that you may have thought of that you wanted to do when you were a little girl and may have fallen to the wayside. Now is that time to bring it back. This time and period, as we know with the pandemic, unfortunately, we may not be able to get out and travel as much, but I challenge you to step outside of putting your life on pause, putting that trip on pause, waiting for that girlfriend, waiting for that man. You have been waiting. Now is the time. Soon as this pandemic release up, I go ahead and say and encourage you to release you, to give yourself that opportunity. Travel is also a form of self-care. It can help many things, far as for a grief healing process, it can help far as for woundedness, celebration. It just serves so many different purposes. And I just challenge every lady on this call who's tuning in on the live to step up and accept that call and honor and answer it and serve you. We cannot serve anyone if we're serving from an empty cup. Everyone should be coming and sipping from our overflow on that saucer. So ladies, I ask you to refill your cups, go on out there, stop putting your travel dreams on pause, and go ahead and make that call, lady. The world's waiting for you, and I hope none of you stand her up. You're on mute, Portia. Portia, you're on mute.
There you go. There you go. That was wonderful, Monique. Thank you so much. I like that what you said at the end. Refill your cup. Gotta fill my cup before I can help someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Then I give from my overflow, because the filled cup is mine. The overflow is theirs.
Yes, ma'am.
That was wonderful. I'm getting my mind together so that and my finances together, because when this pandemic is over, Portia is up and out of here. I'm going somewhere. I'm not waiting any longer. I am going somewhere. And I oftentimes, just like what the statement that you made, I oftentimes talk about sitting with yourself. Mm-hmm. Learn about yourself. Learn about the strength that you have. And you don't know if we're going and never have the opportunity or take the opportunity to actually sit with yourself. See what you know. Yes, ma'am. Learn something different. See what you don't know. Right. But you learn that when, like you said again, when you unplug, I tell you, there's strength in us. There's strength in us. And when you said face your fears, yes. And one of those was years ago, it was going on an airplane. Absolutely. Riding on one. Oh yeah, I can look at them all day long. But when it got to the point where I wanted to actually take a trip somewhere and had to take a flight, but I put my big girl panties on and I did what I had to do. I did it. And then once I did it the first time, that was it. It's like, come on, let's go. Easier every other time after you. All you have to do is just step out on faith in the first time. And that's why I believe it all starts here in our thought process. Positive thoughts breed positive results. So I definitely promote visualization, far as seeing yourself, feeling what that's going to feel like before it even gets there. So you can already come armed mentally for once you go ahead and make that physical transition and make that physical act. I believe that's important. And then, especially if you have individuals that that first step makes a difference. Because you make the first step and then you're turning around telling someone else, oh girl, come on, you can do this. I know you can. Don't wait, get rid of the excuses. That's a lot. I think it's a big thing. We always going to find a way why we can't do something. Why can't we switch that around to find a way why we can? So that is definitely something that I also wanted to share too, Portia, for ladies who may want to do more work, who want to know more about the world of travel or get more insider tips. I'm going to be hosting this evening at 7 p.m.
free webinar as far as the Travelologist. The world is waiting for you. For anyone that would like to join me, they can register at www.iamthetravelologist.com. And Swole Enterprise is going to be launching its first program, I Believe I Can Fly, to help those who may need more work, to help them get there, get their mindset together, and lay the foundation for you to be able to travel. And those who want to, of course, embark upon solo travel, sharing tips, knowledge, flights, all of my knowledge and that I've gained, I'm sharing with you ladies. So they can also reach me at info@soaringwolimits.com, Facebook, Monique Pearson, and Instagram, Swole Enterprises. So I definitely would love to work with anyone or answer any questions that anyone may have when it comes to the world of travel.
Great. We will make sure we put that information into the comment section so that our audience can see how they can contact you and how they can begin to travel solo, whether they want to travel with someone else or travel solo, just travel, period. And we'll put it the information there so that they can see what is going on this evening. That is wonderful. Takira, are you ready to travel? Are you ready to travel?
Yes, I'm ready to travel. I really
am.
Because
you're always traveling.
Yes, well, I haven't been out of the country in a very long time, so it's definitely time to do that again. One, I just want to thank you for coming to talk with us, and this is good for our viewers to hear. I love traveling, and I know a lot of women, especially a lot of single women who want to travel, but they say, you know what, I'm just gonna wait because, you know, I don't know, I'm going by myself. Let me wait for someone else to go with. No, don't do it. No, we're always telling you to use wisdom. So please use wisdom when you're picking the place to go and all that stuff. But don't wait for anybody, guys. Let me tell you, if you had, I don't know, let's pick a blessing that anybody would want, a car. If you had this car that you wanted so bad, and you know what, God was like, hey, you can have this car right now. You just got to come over here and get it. Are you going to wait for your friends to walk with you, go get the car? Go get what you want.
That's
right. Go get what you want. If you want to travel, if you want to experience new things, some excitement in your life, I just encourage you to do so. And also, I just want to encourage you to go to her webinar. If you're just a little bit apprehensive, but I don't know, go to the webinar she's hosting this evening. That'll be a great opportunity for you to just see what it's like to travel on your own. My very first time traveling by myself, I was 20 years old, and I went to Barcelona, and I went there for, how long was I gone for? Was it 2 weeks? I don't know. I was gone for a while. But it was an amazing time, and I too have stories for days. I would love to hear some of your stories. I know your adventures have to be good. But I went by myself, and especially when you're a believer and you have God with you, He has your back. He will make sure that, you know, you're not alone. Like, I met so many wonderful people while I was there. So many influential people that, you know, helped me during my later on in my life. And just so many great experiences that God could not have given me if I didn't take that step out there and just go and try. I mean, anything. And if I got nervous, it was always something small that reminded me of home that helped comfort me. So I'll just give this one example. It's so little things, but it was hilarious to me. So I'm on my first flight overseas, and the area where I'm sitting, I was sitting in coach on my way there. Nobody had English as their first language where I was sitting, okay? And they had a huge screen, you know, they're watching a movie. And guess what movie was on? On my way to Barcelona with all these people who do not speak English as their first language. Beauty Shop. What? So I'm sitting there watching Queen Latifah and just cracking up, like, do they even know what she's saying? You know, because it was funny to me, but just little things like that. He'll be there for you, and you'll have such a great time. Experience everything that you possibly can. And even on my way back, I'm just about to fly home, and for some reason they said, hey, you know what, ma'am, you've been upgraded to business class. I'm like, what? So I got to ride in first class on the way home. It was a very long flight. They treated me like a queen. And that's when I decided, you know what? This is for me. This is what I want to continue to do. So I just want to encourage our viewers out there to try it. You never know what you'll like until you just try it. And if you just hate it, good thing is you don't have to do it again. Just try, give it a try,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you'll love it.
Yes, I totally agree. You definitely have to be open-minded because you never know how you will be blessed. Like you said, Farsa, here you got blessed with a front row seat and stuff like that happens to you all the time, I believe, when you are willing to step out on faith. I really, truly do believe that. And I definitely will be excited to see more women be able to share their story of their first time going internationally, their first passport stamp. I'm just saying it's just an experience that you can't put into words to be able to say that you accomplished something, you went somewhere, you exposed yourself to another culture, another tradition, and those memories. And I can just share as far as me being an influence on the younger ladies in my life, young girls, being able to be that example and set that pathway for them to let them know that you can do it. So that's another part of where I say that is bigger than you, because your actions, you never know who you're going to be influenced just by you being you. You're going to influence somebody else to be them themselves. So definitely agree with you on that, Takira.
Beautiful. I tell you, and Monique, I don't know if you even know, Takira worked for airlines, right, Takira? I don't know if you still do or not, but you have in the past. And I'm sure the two of you have some stories that you can actually really share. It is amazing. But one of the things I thought about as well is when someone isn't used to flying, or if they have never flown before, many times you have fears because someone that have never flown before, well, you better be careful of this and you better be careful. And I'm like, you haven't even flown before. How do you know all this? So for your webinar tonight, it would be good to get the facts. Get some facts about flying and get some facts about traveling. Because you know, the facts are what is going to actually take you to your first, your second, your third experience of travel. So it is amazing how facts can overrule some of the I think, maybe, if, and, or but. So don't forget her webinar tonight. If we get it, we're going to have the opportunity to put it in the comment section so that our audience can see it. Well, thank you so very much, Monique. You have anything, any other category to share before we go? We want the ladies to get it all as much as they can get now. And you know what? What about the age of individuals that travel? I mean, the age of women. You know, there are some.
Well, I'm definitely, my target market is within the 35 to 45 age range. That professional woman who has pretty much have herself established and has been putting everything else that regarding her on the back burner because of her family, her husband, her career. So that's my target women, but I also take people outside the target. So I do host trips. So it's not just limited to women. I do hope trips. I just hosted one and we went to Dubai in September. I'm going to Bali next year. We have Vietnam. We have South Africa. So
wait a minute. You took a trip, or you're going to take a trip to Vietnam?
Oh, that is one of the ones that I'm hosting and offering far as countries. My specialty is international travel. So, yeah, and also far as working with business entities to host retreats, anything that's pretty much in travel. But of course, my first is dealing with women, but I also have on the outskirts. So there's always an opportunity to work with me when it comes to travel in some shape, form, or fashion. So all the things that I have going on, you can definitely find on the social media that I just shared with you. And feel free also to hit me up at info@soaring.wolimits.com. But we're officially launching January 17th, so definitely we need more to come for those who are interested in becoming expatriates or moving to another country. We'll be offering those services to help you with your administrative paperwork to get you over there and get settled. So Swole, aka Swole, has a lot coming, and I'm excited and looking forward to working with, networking, and helping a lot of people when it comes to their travel goals.
That is beautiful that a woman of color can share that information, that has that type of sphere of influence. And we ask that you would share it among our own people. Share this information and she does it so well. So I would be happy to actually share my platform in sharing the information that she does. So the work she does, the information she has, I'm kind of excited about it now. I'm like, whoo, I get to go somewhere where I don't know right now, but I am going somewhere. So
well, you're welcome to join us
yeah.
next year on any of those that I just mentioned, Portia. So far, I have 16 that I'm taking to Bali, November 2022, and that's still open for those who may be interested. Just please contact me, and I will get you everything you need.
I need
Wonderful.
to sign up for that Bali trip.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate your sharing. And we thank you again for the opportunity of where we're getting ready to go. I'm going to say that in advance as I'm ready to roll. So we're going to do that. But before we close, I just want to thank you for your service to our country. Thank you so very much. I thank God for women of color that serve other cultures as well. But it's something special when we have women of color that can serve and have served in the past and continue to serve. We're very thankful to you. Again, we are on day, matter of fact, Monique, you were on day 362. Now we wait till
last few days.
the last few days, and those last few days are pumping us up for travel. I'll tell you, it's all good. It was meant to be. After this pandemic, I know people are ready to roll. You know, after it rolls out, we're going to roll on. So we're grateful. We're grateful that you came and shared. Thank you so very much. To you, our audience, we're going to leave you for today. We have a few more days to come, Takira, a few more days, and we're going to bring it just like we did on the very first day. Bring you hope, encouragement, and inspiration. God bless you until we see you again on tomorrow. Bye-bye.